Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Tudor Black Bay GMT. So this is probably the hottest model right now from Tudor, arguably I'll say. And this watch has just been super popular because it kind of blends, I guess, the Rolex GMT Master look while putting a new kind of Tudor take on it. And that's mainly shown in this watch through the various snowflake hands. So you have the snowflake second hand, snowflake hour hand, and even a snowflake GMT hand. And then you also have a different case shape because it's got no crown guards. It doesn't use the traditional oyster case as we think of it in this watch, like the GMT Master 2, and yet it also comes at a much lower price. So this has really taken the watch world by storm, I guess, you could say when they released it, and it's become super popular just because the great value it provides, the classic, elegant styling it has, and also while bringing a unique take on the watch versus just being kind of a copy of its bigger brother. So I would say definitely this is its own watch. This isn't necessarily a watch you're getting because you can't afford a GMT. It is a totally different timepiece in the fact that the design is a lot different overall, and the movement is different as well. So I will say that if you're worried about that, I would say no. So actually now I'm going to go over the bracelet. So it uses the classic heritage kind of riveted bracelet that Tudors of modern days are so known for. It's got nice solid bar clasp though as well. It does not have a quick adjustment. It only has classic 3-pin micro adjustment points, which is all right, not too bad. It would have been very nice to see though, as most companies are starting to do, where they have an on-the-fly micro adjust system. The watch itself it's fairly thick. It's definitely thicker than I'd say a lot of your average watch, but it's not overwhelmingly thick at all. It's kind of like similar basically to just a standard dive watch that you're thinking of. It's not too thick at all, but it is thicker than some other watches. And this actually, even as a GMT watch, it has a 200-meter water resistance. So you're getting a professional dive level water rating, so you actually could dive with this watch. And that's also because the GMT bezel, instead of rotating every half hour like most, it's a 60-click bezel. So you could line it up with the minute hand and just use it like you would a diver's bezel. Now, obviously, it's going to be a bit harder to read because instead of having the diving indicators on it versus just the classic timer, you're going to have GMT hours, so you'll have to kind of count the dots, I guess, going around the dial to see how long. So yes, it would be a little bit more complicated, but it's nice to know that if, I don't know, if you do occasional diving or it comes up that you need to do diving once, you actually can use this watch. So it is very versatile, and that's almost why I actually appreciate that they did a 60-click instead of a 24-click bezel. So now let's go to the dial. So the dial is a matte black dial. You can see that there's no patina on this, which I think is fantastic. I love that. My favorite Black Bay model has always been the Black Bay Blue, if you're talking about the diver, simply because it doesn't have gilded hands. There's no faux patina on it. It looks like a brand new watch, which I really like, and I'm so happy that on the GMT they did that as well. I'm glad they didn't do the faux patina, as I'm personally am not a huge fan. I know some people are fans of it, but I'm glad that they just designed this as a modern take on a heritage piece, which I like. So you also have a date at 3 o'clock. There's no Cyclops, which I also like, and that separates it a bit, again, from Rolex. They really are, I feel like, are trying with this watch to not have the kind of stigma of being Rolex's little brother. They're really bringing out their own product that is the best that they could put into a watch, and I really like it. Again, I think it would have, again, been really cool, though, if they did a no-date model. I just think that that looks fantastic. There are very few no-date GMTs out there, so I think it would have been really cool if they did that. But again, having a GMT, you kind of usually will want the date because you're going to be traveling, and that's generally something important you'll need to know. So the movement in this is going to be the MT5652, which is an in-house Tudor movement. It's going to get a power reserve of 70 hours, and it is COSC certified as a chronometer. So very well done movement, and I really commend Tudor for their in-house movements. I mean, there's no other brand at this price point that is doing this. Omegas are still a lot more expensive, and I can't think of any others around this price point, as this comes new in at $3,950, although typically they'll be quite above that. Pre-owned, except for this one actually comes in at $3,850 with box and papers. So going off that price point, though, there are really no other watch brands that can compete with regards to the in-house movements that Tudor is doing. It's really fantastic. The stats match up with high-end luxury watches, having a 70-hour power reserve and a very accurate chronometer-grade movement. Huge plus on this. Now, the finishing isn't necessarily spectacular. There's not a huge amount, but you have the accuracy, you have the power reserve, you're getting everything out of it that you would ever notice, which I think is great. And again, it's fantastic in my opinion that they're even offering an in-house movement, as most watches don't. Another feature that I really like is how they did make sure that it has a jumping hour hand. That just makes it so much easier to adjust when you're changing time zones, and all GMTs should have it like that. When most, especially ETA-based GMT models, will have a jumping GMT hand, but that's not actually useful, because what you're supposed to do is either set the GMT hand to Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, or you set it to your home time, and then you have your destination time here. So when you go to when you're traveling, you just switch the hour hand over, and you're good to go. So that makes it a lot more simple versus if you have the jumping GMT hand, when you change the main time, you then have to go all the way around and change the GMT hand. Makes it a lot more complicated. This, I think, is fantastic, and I'm glad they did it. So now let's do a wrist shot. So on the wrist, this watch has a 41mm stainless steel case, and on the wrist, it wears very nicely. I think it's extremely comfortable, and it's really going to fit most people of most wrist sizes. I have about a 7 1/4 inch wrist, so take that for reference. The thickness, it is a thicker watch. It's not, I wouldn't say it's too thick, but it's thicker. So I would definitely, if you're going to be wearing this as a suit cuff, it could get caught on it occasionally, but I don't think you'll have a huge problem with that. I think it would still manage just fine, but again, that might be something to consider, so that might help. Maybe try one on to see with like a typical shirt you'll wear to see if it would get caught. But I don't think it should be a huge problem, but it is a little bit thicker, so just note that. But the rest of it is extremely comfortable. The bracelet is very nicely done. It really, I'd say, is of close to equivalent quality to a Rolex Oyster bracelet. I mean, it is very well done. It's all solid, really no problems with it at all. Super comfortable, no sharp edges. Same with the clasp. The clasp is extremely well done. Classic flip clasp, very easy to operate. Great job there. So overall, this watch, I think, if you're looking for a GMT watch, I think that this watch is really in its own realm at this price point. I can't really think of another GMT around this price point that is better than this. I mean, you're getting the in-house movement, you have the true GMT function with the jumping hour hand, and you're just getting such a high-quality watch where that's finished excellent and excellent proportions, historical as well. I mean, yes, Tudor never actually made this watch in their past, but they did take a lot of elements from their heritage, which I think is great. And Tudor is just such a cool brand, in my opinion. They're coming out, they're doing things that Rolex could never do, and they're just, the products that they are making, I think, are fantastic. So I'd like to mention this watch was lent to us by JB Hudson Jewelers for the purpose of this review. It's coming in at a price of $3,850. I'll be leaving a link in the description to their website if you would like to inquire about purchasing this or any of their other watches. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.